Hello and welcome to this Consulting Specifying Engineer video discussion. I'm Amara Rasgis with Consulting Specifying Engineer, and today we're talking to Kevin Teakell from AAON. Hey Kevin, how are you?
Great, how are you today?
Good. Well, we are at the AHR Expo in Orlando, and it's a show that focuses on HVAC, controls, and building automation. We're going to be covering a lot of engineering topics today, and we are on the trade show floor, so we appreciate you sticking with us as we have this discussion. Let me give you a little bit of background first. Kevin is a professional engineer and fellow, head of government and industry affairs based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Kevin has nearly 29 years of experience with AAON, first leading all engineering functions for the applied products, and then leading all product management and marketing, and now leading government affairs. So Kevin, let me jump right in here with a question. What are the reasons for and benefits of using VFDs in today's HVAC equipment, like air handling units or heat pumps?
Yeah, I mean, VFDs are really important. If you look at most applications, you're usually going to run at part load conditions. You're not going to run at full speed all the time. Most buildings you're going to design for, 95 degrees or 100 degrees. Just depends where you live. But most of the time, it's not going to be that hot. You got so much capacity you're designing for, but it's not going to be that hot all the time. So you're going to run at lower conditions a lot of the time. So if you can reduce the fan speed along with the capacity, you can really save a tremendous amount of energy. We get to use the fan law, what's called the fan laws, and it enables us, as we slow down the fan, the power that we require for that fan goes down by the cube of the speed. So for instance, if we slow down to 75% speed, we're now only at 42% power. So just slowing down the fan a little bit can save a tremendous amount of power. And when you look at that over the annual usage of that equipment, it can really save a lot of money, save a lot of energy. So being able to vary that speed is really important. And you look at most applications, if it's a VAV system, for instance, where it's a large commercial building and they change, the conditions are changing in the building, they're slowing fans down, it can really save a lot of power. But even in single zone applications where it may be, some equipment serving just a small space, even those kind of applications, they'll ramp down depending on the load in the room. If it's a meeting room, for instance, maybe it's designed for 20 people, but a lot of the time there's only 2 people in it, or even 0 people. There's very little load. You can slow those fans way down and really save a lot of power. So VFDs really help in the overall energy savings that we're really looking for as an industry.
Okay. So with respect to the new R45B refrigerant, and from a technology and safety standpoint, what are the latest electronic advancements? What do you use with regard to mildly flammable refrigerants?
Yeah, so the industry was required to transition to these lower GWP refrigerants beginning in January 1st of this year. So when we did that, all these new refrigerants are now in this new category known as A2L. It's a mildly flammable refrigerant. Now, it sounds scarier than it really is. Most of the refrigerants we were using before were actually technically kind of flammable too. So it's really not too different. But just to be super safe, the industry worked on new safety standards that now require us to have refrigerant leak detectors in all of our equipment. So if you ever detect a leak, we have to do a few things, like we have to shut off the compressor so we don't continue to pump refrigerant. We have to actually turn the fan to high speed, okay? Because these refrigerants are heavier than air. And if they leak into a space, you could actually get a lower space or lower place in the room where you could actually concentrate enough refrigerant to light it. So you want to keep mixing the room up. So you increase the fans to maximum speed. That's again where the variable speed drives really help us to speed that back up, so we can mix the room well, so we don't ever get any concentrations that we could actually ignite one of those refrigerants. So we now have these refrigerant leak detectors in our equipment that if there is ever a leak, we detect that and make sure we set off an alarm, and we do these other things so that we don't ever put the inhabitants of the space in any danger. So it's really important that we do that. We have like little refrigerant leak detector sensors now and controllers that all work together, and then those send signals to our unit controls. We send signals to the building to protect the leak, and like I said, ramp up the fan speed if we were to detect that leak as well. So it's really important. as we transition to these new these are state standards that we've kind of developed over the last 10 years as an industry.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's a really good overview, Kevin.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we are here, like I said, at the AHR Expo, talking about HVAC systems, drives, refrigerants, and a whole host of other topics. Thank you so much for joining us for this consulting specifying engineer video. We appreciate your time today, and goodbye.